Hi, good morning. It's Sunday, really early morning. I'm actually in the midst of traveling, going back to Northern California, but I just wanted to send a message. You know, I think it's really interesting when you see someone crying or struggling out there, and you walk by and you're like, oh man, what are they crying about? Or oh, I don't want to be a part of that. Be human and do something because you never know what the person's about. Like maybe you're not secure in yourself to be able to go talk to a stranger and see what they're doing. But all people need is sometimes just one person to believe them, and it makes a difference. Okay, so I know a week ago I said, I gave a warning about, oh, a week. The reason why I got let go is because I actually was getting stalked by a man. Um, didn't know who he was. He, I was at Starbucks and he was behind me. I pay in gold dollar coins because I think it's fun and that's change. I like change better than dollar bills, but I made some comment. I'm like, oh yeah, I always get these return. Like you always get gold back somehow if you like want it. I usually don't like gold, but it's really ironic. But so you know, I make this comment. He's behind me. Don't even know who he is at all because I'm just like trying to get my drink and go to work and like study for school. That was a Friday. I go to the bathroom, come back. There's two gold coins and a business card on my desk, and I have personal business cards because I just wrote a book and trademarked and blah blah blah. So I had business cards like sitting on my desk or my table at Starbucks. So he puts two gold coins back, and he puts a card, and my instinct is like, what the hell, like that's not cool. And so then I had my badge and everything like on the table because I was just around the corner, like I was getting like sugar or something. So he like slyly put two gold coins down and his business card, and I was like, ugh, I don't want this. So immediately I burned the coins. I like tipped with it, and I kept the business cards because I knew I had to. His name was Eric, so that's weird. So then I go to work, and then Saturday morning it was like in the midst of finals week, so I grab, I do my business, and I go to the same coffee shop, and he's sitting there or standing there outside Starbucks, leaning against his car because someone had texted me and like was saying, "Oh, hey, it was nice meeting you. Did you get your gold coins back?" And I thought it was this cute guy that like I was chatting with, but like so I had no idea, but I should have like known better not to respond. And I was like, and my text message was like weirded out. I'm like, yeah, I did. Okay, like because I had a picture of what he looked like, but it obviously wasn't him. So then when I saw him, the text message correspondence was basically like, "Hey, I'm really busy. Like, thanks for the gold coins. Like, I can't talk." He was like trying to talk to me, and right when I said that, he guys like, "Oh, I thought you were different." Like a really like angry text. Like you could tell. Like it was weird. So then what I did was like, Sunday early morning, like he was like stalking me because he knew my patterns. He knew I'd be there every morning early, and I grabbed like he's in the car, like standing right next to where I would park, or he saw me roll up because he knows my car. And creepy, tall person, skinny, like I know every detail because I just remember everything. And he's like, "Oh, good morning," and I'm like, I saw his like work jacket said Eric. I was like, "Oh shoot, this is him." He's like straight up, not the bee's knees. You don't want to be around this guy. So he's like, "Okay, let me help you get your stuff out of your car." I was like, "Oh no, I'm good. Like I really just need to focus on finals because it's true. That's the truth." But I was creeped out. I did not want to run away because I didn't want him to follow where I was going to go. He holds the door open for me, and I like put my head down. I'm like, just shut down, but be strong. Like, do not engage. Do not engage. So I go up and get coffee, and I was like, he's like, "Let me buy you a drink." I'm like, "No, I do not want your drink. Like, I can pay for it myself. My mom has always taught me pay for your own way." And so, I go to the cashier. I'm like, "I like this drink," and then he's like, "Oh no, I'll pay for it." So the mistake of Starbucks, and I talked to them afterwards. It's all good now. They said, oh, "Okay, yeah, sure," because they knew this guy. So he buys a drink for me, and I was very uncomfortable. And I said, I didn't even look at him. I'm like, "Thank you for the drink. I have finals. I cannot talk. Like, I really appreciate it though." And he was lingering, so he paid the drink, and then he stood there and stared at me for like a good like couple of minutes. But I was like not making eye contact. I was studying like my nerves were so shaken because like of past things that I'm like, I am not gonna engage with this guy because he's not good. Like seriously, like super bad, inappropriate gift giving and boundary setting. Like he was probably looking at me for like for the week that I just started my job. So basically, like he did that, and then he texted me again because I was like, okay, I have to keep the line open. I talked to the police, I talked to Starbucks, and like if he initiates contact, you have to like shut him down, but in a polite way. Because if he, you just do it. So then he starts talking. I'm like, you know what? I think that was really inappropriate the way that everything was handled. I don't like, please stop talking to me. And he got mad. He's like, really, girl? Gosh. And he's like, he went off a little bit. So then I was like, shit. So I blocked him. I sent all the email correspondence to all of the deputies that I talked to because they didn't believe me. They're like, basically what the police says, and this is what happens, they can't do anything until something actually happens or it's in progress. Well, by then I would have been dead because he was stalking me. He's the type to go rage because, I mean, a slight rejection or a rejection, like an average person would have been like, oh, that sucks. But then they would have moved on because clearly this person isn't interested. He got mad. And he knew where I was. He knew everything about me. He probably followed me a lot because I didn't know. Well, I didn't know. I went to work so Saturday. I was freaking out. I'm like, what the hell? Like, and at night I was looking over my shoulder because who knows how far he followed me because he has a gold like sedan. It was like, obviously it's like such a weird, it's gold, like older person car, like older man, creepy. Like he gave me the heebie-jeebies, and I was just so frustrated. So basically, what I did was like, he knows that I go to Starbucks. So I went to another Starbucks, like, because I felt safe there in where the place where the city where I work. And I was freaking out because I'm like, he knows everything because I don't know how far he was following me. He probably knows where I live. He probably knows my pattern. Like, he had time. And I was just like, I do not feel safe going to work. So I called work and I told them what was going on. I told the on-call. That on-call person, like, took all my information down. Maybe, I don't know. Like, obviously he didn't do it right because I got fired on Tuesday. Because on Monday, so I told him, tell Dan, the guy, our boss, our supervisor, like, what's going on. And I called my school, called my professors, didn't do my homework, but I studied and I was freaking out because I'm like, this guy knows everything about me and I'm not okay with this. Monday comes and I'm not going to work because I'm scared. He knows it. He knows every morning when I wake up. He knows where I travel, where I stop, eat, sleep. Like, he knows everything. So I blocked him. I sent all the correspondence and email snapshots to the deputy. And then the deputy's like, oh my gosh. Like, what the heck? Everybody in town knew about this creepy man, but no one said or reported anything. I'd fly down to CHP when I saw them in Starbucks. I let them know, and basically they're like, can't do anything until something actually happens. You have to catch him. I'm like, okay. So I have to do my own trap. I had to put myself in on the line to be able to catch this man. I did. Amidst grad school, moving, all the stress that I've been in my life, and I had to do it myself. Like, I'm used to it. Okay, fine, I'll do it. So basically, I had to get myself vulnerable again, but be smarter this time because I wasn't aware that this guy was following me. Like, usually you don't really pay attention to these things, but if you're really in tune with what's going on, you have that sense. So I got fired on Tuesday because they sat me down and said that you've been inappropriate. Well, I've been inappropriate because this man was following me. I called you. You guys didn't connect because my supervisor on Monday when I finally turned on my phone because I had to be shut off because this guy was like following me. I didn't want him to find my location because he's the type to figure it out. They thought I was paranoid and crazy, but I'm like, if you actually have someone following you, giving you things, knowing your patterns, and knowing where you work, would you feel comfortable going to work? No. So I told them straight up. Everybody was complaining about me because I'm a nice person, and I re-gifted things in the office that were colored because all the colors they had were dark. It was just such poetic justice. It was purple. It was like a survivor color. And then they all complained about me because I brought snacks. And then they fire me. And I know I made good connections with the clients that were there because I was different and actually looked in their eyes and saw their pain and figured out how, I'm like, how can I, like, because they're not in the state to be like, oh, how can I help you? It's just like, oh, I give them choices like, do you want to go outside on a walk? Or do you want to sit inside? Do you want to color? Like, I was doing art therapy. I was running, the simple things. And all of the highly skilled licensed people or the people that have been in school were very, like, keen on, like, oh, man, this person knows what you're doing. But the vets, the people that are older, that have been there, that are, sad themselves because they can't change anything. They felt it. booted me. They all complained about me, so I got fired. I said, I don't feel safe working at this place. Because inside those doors, they all judged me because of who I am, how I look like, my education, my color, me being as a woman strong, all complained about me, got fired. Then on the outside, they couldn't protect me because this fool was stalking me. But I'm like, I told you, I handled it. I called the police, made the reports, I told your staff, they broke communication down. Your HR wasn't even answering their phone. I had date, timestamps, everything, because I know how to document. Fired. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that lesson, because my due diligence was writing a letter to the National Board of Association for Social Work and explained appropriately and justly that, hey, you all question my mental abilities in front of my superiors. You embarrassed me. And I was just like, I lifted my left eyebrow like this. Like, she's like, are you seeing somebody? And I'm like, I did this. Like, girl, what the hell did you just tell me? And she's like, oh, I mean, do you have a support system? I was like, I have a support system. And then, so I got fired the next day. They didn't give me any severance pay. They didn't give me any moving expenses. I relocated. I negotiated to do that. And I should have negotiated, in hindsight, I should have negotiated moving expenses, because it was a lot of money to move up there. But I wrote, so the last thing I said, after she pretty much grilled me 2 days in a row, and I had my mouth shut, because I know I talk a lot, but I was just like, I had to keep my mouth shut because I have to show that I'm like strong and proud and that they're going to get their due diligence. So I wrote a letter basically saying all this stuff that happened. And I have more documentation that wasn't appropriate to tell to the boards. They're going to get their due justice, their due diligence, because they broke moral codes, ethical codes, racial codes. They basically are the opposite of what affirmative action is supposed to do and get variety of people and perspectives into employments. They're going to get it. And I just like, I don't even have time to sue. I don't have money to sue. To hire a litigation attorney to do unemployment costs so much money. And I'm not even like looking to do that because I'm in grad school. I have to get a 4.0, because then after I get 4.0, I'm not going to school this next semester. So it's my choice, and I'm doing it. Amidst all the craziness of life and grad school and everything, I'm going to get a 4.0. And they're going to be all sad that I can't go next semester. So it's almost like it's up to you all to help me with school. And I keep saying the same thing, but if you're in grad school, like, I'm going to the best school in the world because they value diversity. And the discussions that we have, the books that we're reading, this is how I've been thinking all my life. But now I'm getting the education to finally give me the legitimacy that I deserve and in life in general. But because I don't have that piece of paper that says master's of social work and then licensed clinical social worker, and I'm young looking, I get discredited like that. You know how much racism I get every day because of who I am by the people that don't appreciate diversity? So many times. But you know what? I hold my tongue and I keep my head up proud, because the moment that I submit to their biases and prejudice and racism or any kind of ism, I get judged for reacting like a human being. So I urge you to be a human being, to other human beings, to take care of each other. Because if you do that, you'll experience the life that I've been living, is that when you find the people that really value you, essentially who you are, you're going to be so happy that you're accepted and loved. But you have to truly love yourself first. And that takes a long time to actually really understand what it means to really love yourself and appreciate everything that you've gone through. And the moments of victory that seem so tiny and minute, but there's such big steps because you're finally